Welcome back to the What the Fuck America podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to sandbox it up today. We're going to talk about a lot of shit. None of it matters, none of it's important, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I am Jake, along with Matt.
Oh, shit. You froze.
I froze. I'm still here, though. I'm still here.
Okay.
So, today, one of the things we talked about during the week was how to vote. How in this country should we vote? Let's say you're a kid, right? We're going to take you through the various steps of learning how to vote in your life. Let's say you're a kid and your mom and dad are talking about where to go to dinner. You know who doesn't get a vote in that, say? You. Because you don't have the money. You're not taking your parents to dinner. It's fucking straight up communism up in that bitch. Your voice does not matter. Now, some parents are nice and they'll actually say, hey, where do you want to go to eat, young man? But other than that, straight up communism. Now let's say you get to kindergarten and the teacher's like, hey, what book do we want to read today? Is it 1984? Is it the Communist Manifesto? Or is it what's Hitler's book? Mein Kampf. Or is it Mein Kampf? What book do we want to read today? In fucking kindergarten.
All of them.
So teacher will typically say, oh, let's take a show of hands and see who wants to read Mein Kampf for 1984 or the Communist Manifesto. Fast forward, now you're of the adult age. You are now legally allowed to vote. You have political will in this country, and you get to dictate who represents you. I think personally, I represent me and no one else does. So fuck the government. But you get to vote now. There's an old saying that goes, show me an old man that isn't conservative, I'll show you someone without a brain. Show me a young man who isn't Democrat, I'll show you someone without a heart. Because we're brought up to believe that, you know, the Democrats, they care about people, they blah, 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 blah. And then conservatives, once you get older, you become a parent, you become a tax-paying citizen or a tax-raped citizen in most cases. You actually have to, think with your brain a little bit. You can't be so quote-unquote progressive. So most people come out of high school voting Democrat. Their parents vote Democrat. They vote Democrat. They don't know who to vote for. Everyone always says, just vote Democrat. That's kind of the way this country works. I didn't vote when I was 18. I've never voted since. I've never once voted in my life. But when I came out of high school, I probably would have voted Democrat. Because that's what, you're raised to do.
Yeah.
That's why this country is a shithole.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, depending on where you're raised, right?
Yeah. If you're raised in like deep red Texas or something, yeah, obviously, But for the most part, that's my grandpa. My mom even says, my grandpa always said, we vote Democrat in this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Well, people often mistake too, like, see, the fun thing about our government is they will work for years and change the definition of words so that it means something completely different than,
yep.
Right? When you were raised, Democrat meant a lot different thing than it does now.
Yes.
The
fact that the Democratic Party are being paid by mega corporations and mega banks shows you a very different Democratic Party than I was raised with.
Well, let's just say both parties, right? Because they're all the same. It's all the same.
It's a mono party.
Sides. Yeah, it's one big fucking show. It's just one big show, right? Yep. It's like Hitler said, right? Tell the lie, tell it often, make it big. That's it. That was him. right? The same
Yep.
thing that they do in fucking North Korea, man. The same thing. The
Yeah.
same thing they do in China. The same thing they do in Russia.
And in
What
fucking America.
what do all these countries have in common? Socialism and communism. I don't
Yeah.
want to fucking hear anybody say anything about democracy and capitalism, because it's only capitalism to those fucking corporations that the government is like, yeah, sure, you donate to us, we'll let you suck our dick a little. It's okay.
Well, all you got to do look too is when Donald Trump was running for president 2020, when he was doing his campaigning, all these uh, fucking politicians were completely a-okay with the censorship of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But now that they are on the long arm of the law, oh well, we can't have Facebook and Google and all them censoring people. We gotta make committees to, but the committees won't do anything. They'll just sit there and grandstand on this fucking stand and say, "Oh, you guys shouldn't be doing this," blah 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 blah. But they won't take any action against it. There's a YouTube guy. They have a thing called the 10th Amendment Center. One of his sayings is, the reason why we have failed is because we have expected government to limit its own power, and that is one of the most true statements I've ever heard. A government will never limit its power; it will only continue to grow like a cancer, and that's kind of what we're seeing today. But to get back onto the voting, uh, let's talk about one very interesting thing. So we've all heard of vaccine passports, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to show you have been vaccinated. You need a form of ID to show you have been vaccinated, right? And in order to
Yep.
go to the store, in order to go out in public, in order to do anything, you need this vaccine passport,
Yep.
i.e., a form of ID. Why don't you need a form of ID to vote?
Well, I'll tell you why. It's racist.
Yes, it's racist. Yep.
I mean, that's not my belief. I don't believe in that. I think it's so stupid.
Yes.
You need a fucking ID to operate a motor vehicle, for crying out loud, these days.
Yep. I was watching I don't remember what I was watching, but there was a video. It was of the Libertarian Party, or I should call it the Lulbritarian Party,
Eh.
where they were talking about, should you need a government ID to drive? And all of them said, hell no. And then one of the guys on the Libertarian Party said, what's next? Do you need an ID to toast your own toast at home? And it's like, you're just making the Libertarian Party a laughing stock of the entire world. Like, and I think it's psyops. I really do. I think they're purposely planting dumbass people in the Libertarian Party to make them look like fools.
I would agree with that. However, I think this is all an act. There cannot be that many stupid people concentrated in one area. Like, think about this. Just think about this for a second, right? Someone literally said those words.
Yes.
It makes no sense.
No.
It's an asinine comment. It's someone who thinks that it was witty and smart and like, it's the dumbest fucking thing. Whoever
Yeah.
would ever fucking question anybody for toasting a fucking piece of bread?
Yep.
If you wanted to fucking be smart, you'd be like, oh, do I have to show ID now to go into the store? Right?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they just, the Libertarian Party, I lean into the more libertarian side of things.
I like the libertarian view, but I don't think any of these people anymore know what the fuck they're even fighting for.
Well, and it goes back to representation. The only person that can represent you is you,
Right.
or a lawyer in the court of law.
Right.
Not
I
fucking.
don't. That's the other thing too, right? Like, these people are so all about the racism and the poor and the gays and the this, right? They are so far into every social problem,
Yeah.
that it doesn't even fucking it does, and they don't do anything about it. They say,
No.
"Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to
Why
do this."
fix a problem when you can have
President
something
Obama,
constantly to bitch about?
President Barack Obama, we're going to fix healthcare. You destroyed healthcare.
Yes.
You didn't fix shit. You
Yes.
destroyed it. Not only that, you destroyed the economy, which you came into a shitty economy. Your focus should have been building that economy, not
Yep.
destroying it even further.
Yep.
Because that's what, yeah, he did inherit some bullshit problems from the Bush administration. However,
Correct.
he did not make them any better by taxing hardworking, tax-paying Americans.
Yep.
Hey, I didn't have insurance through my job because, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I did not feel the need to have insurance and buy it. Why would you penalize me if I'm taking care of myself? I have a
Yep.
job that keeps me busy. I'm healthy. I'm good.
Unpopular opinion, but insurance is a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, I believe it totally, 100%. It's legalized gambling all over the country.
Yeah.
Think about
Because
it. They're taking your money
Yep.
with because they call it insurance. Eventually, you may need it, but they can also fight you on what you need it for.
Yep.
And tell you, nope, this isn't covered. For instance, and I don't mean to interrupt you and get way off track. My wife, she was in the hospital for a couple days, right? The hospital gave her an inhaler that was not a full inhaler. It's a very serious inhaler, steroid, inhaler. Without any, they're like $300 to $400 just for that inhaler. It's got 12 breaths in it.
Really?
12 days, once a day, right? No insurance covers that shit, right? So that's some fucking insane stuff, man. And
Yeah.
then you went. So what if someone needed that and they didn't have insurance? Even with the insurance, you're paying out of pocket because they don't cover it. It's not
Yep.
something they cover, but it works. You know what I mean? So then you're sitting there, okay, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. Yet your president just made it even harder for you to do that because now you're being penalized
$400
or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, I think over the course of it, I got paid out like $1,200.
Yep.
So that's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And not paid out. It's money you're not seeing anyway, right? You're just not getting it back at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot stand the. So I am not, by no means am I an economist, but if I don't have an incentive to want to make a business, why would I ever make a business? Why would I ever put my money out on the line and risk all that just to potentially fail? One thing that just doesn't make sense to me too is now we have such, I guess, corporatism where the state actively disincentivizes against. So Amazon, let's take Amazon for instance, or Walmart. Let's take Walmart. Walmart can afford to pay its employees $15 an hour. You know who can't afford to pay $15 an hour? The mom and pop shop down the road from Walmart. So these giant corporations who have the expendable money, who have the money to be able to pay people $15 an hour, they outcompete on a mass scale and can afford to pay more. That being said, then they just eventually fire those people and say, yeah, we didn't want them anyways, and they find a way to lower their labor cost. Now you have just a bunch of self-check kiosks at Walmart. You don't have to hire 700 cashiers in a store. So it's to say we have a free market in this country is So far from true.
It's a
So
free
far from
market to
true.
the politicians.
Well,
It's a
yeah,
free
it's a
market.
free
It's
market to those who can pay.
right, exactly. So like your politicians and they take the lobbyists, right? You
Yep.
got lobbyists, these people that make the decision that's going to say, "Yeah, sure, we're going to vote on this." Right? They take handouts and they use these legal loopholes to hide it as if it's not a bribe, right?
Yep. Take a
Yet,
look at take a look at book deals. Take a look at book deals. If you look
right.
at all these people that have book deals, your Obamas, your McCains, your Chain, all of them, all of them. Look at who buys the books. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a Chinese corporation buy several 100,000 books of theirs.
Oh, of course. Thinking you're going to learn some sort of secret or something, you know? But yeah, freaking it's just kind of sickening, right? How it is so we got a little off track cuz we were talking about voting.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, right? We're voting for that as a country.
Well, we're fucking morons. We're
Right,
the
but
issue
think
is,
about it, right? We're in this situation because people thought that this was a great idea, and if you didn't like the other guy at all because you watched the news so much, right? You're watching the news, you're listening to popular opinion, all of your Facebooks and your any social media you're on, your news is tailored to everything you click on. Watch The Social Dilemma. Everything you click on is making a freaking cyber you. So it knows what you're doing. If you were off it for 3 days, could you imagine the fucking impact it would have on that system?
yeah.
You know, so if it's people are like I
Well,
said,
and
voting for the horrible, horrible things that are going on right now.
yep, and it's just the same old. The lesser of two evils is still an evil.
Of course.
There was an interesting thing. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been that one dude. What's his name? The Andrew Yang, who talked
Oh,
about rank order voting, where you rank the people who you would like in office. So let's say you were voting for president, and there were like five people up for. You could rank Kanye West as number one, Donald Trump as number two, uh, Joe Biden as number three, and Adolf Hitler as number four, kind of a thing. So you could rank them one through four, saying this is who I would prefer. This is my secondary. This is my tertiary, and this is my, I don't know what fourth is in the proper term, um, but it's one of those things where there's got to be a better way. But also, government has fundamentally forgot its purpose. What I mean by that is government does not provide anything to the citizen. Government is strictly there to protect rights. You and I don't need a law telling us not to kill someone because you and I don't have any interest in infringing on anyone's right to life, provided that right is not infringed on us, provided nothing is done to us to make it so that way we are infringed upon, I guess you'll say. I don't need a law that
right.
says, hey, don't beat my wife because I have no interest in beating my wife. I don't need a law that says, hey, don't steal from the corner shop because I don't have interest anymore. I used to be a massive kleptomaniac and I would steal a lot, but I don't do that anymore. So the whole reason and purpose for government is there to protect your rights. The police force is there to investigate and make sure your rights are not being infringed upon. And they seem to have fundamentally forgot that. The fact that you have AOC calling for censorship, the fact that you have any of these people making these gun laws, the Second Amendment strictly says shall not be infringed, which means the federal government cannot make any laws against any federal arming of a citizens. States, however,
Right.
can make gun laws. States can make gun
Right.
laws.
Yeah, and it should be up to the state, and we shouldn't have our representatives in Washington making those
Correct.
decisions anyway. That just adds more fucking
I
bullshit.
actually, I almost think
It
we
wastes so
should
much
almost get
time.
rid of the House of Representatives in Washington D.C.
Yeah, it seems like it. It almost seems like it. The government, it's too big. Those people that are in Washington D.C. representing these districts in these
Yep.
states, what the fuck are you doing there? You're not
Yep.
doing shit.
You're
You need to be
you're
in your
taking
state.
your quote unquote representation of that district. Let's say a district in California, a representative from the district of a state in or a county in California, trying to pass a law federally, so the whole entire federal government has to follow it, which means all the states have to follow it. How does that
Right.
help us in Washington?
Well, it doesn't do anything for states' rights because the states
Exactly.
don't have their rights
States
now.
can nullify. States can nullify. The
Right.
10th Amendment, you
I
can
get it.
ignore. And actually, there's a whole, that 10th Amendment Center. If anyone has time and is bored, go look up 10th Amendment Center. They go into a lot of quotes about how you as a citizen, basically what we should all be doing as United States citizens right now. What is it? The 13th Amendment? Or was it the 16th? I don't remember. The one where Congress gave themselves the power to be able to tax now. That amendment should not exist. We as citizens should not be paying federal income tax.
Of course.
If we were to all stop paying federal income tax, it would be constitutional. It would be completely constitutional for us to stop paying federal income tax. States can tax us.
Right.
Maybe. Kind of, I guess. But federal.
But those representatives are in
Yes.
Washington.
So a fucking, let's say a representative from Alaska says, I want everyone to be able to own fully automatic AR-15s. Why would that be beneficial for, well, let's be real, it would be beneficial for Illinois because they could go take out everyone in Chicago. Fucking Chirac. It's just the whole idea that we have, yes, I like that idea. Abolish the House of Representatives. It's pointless. It's completely pointless.
Yeah. What are they doing
Nothing.
right now?
They're just making a giant federal government with more powers than it ever should have had. And abolish the House of Representatives.
Right, because is that the one that gets bigger when the population in a state goes up? Right. So like what the
That's
fuck?
why California
That's
has
why
like 50.
That's why you can that's why you can literally open the fucking border when it comes time to vote, and you just claim your sanctuary city, which requires nobody to have identification, any type of anything. And boom.
Well, and that's what's fucked up too.
You could live wherever, do whatever. It's no problem, right? Because you're not a citizen and you're not even really here. You're a ghost, apparently, because you get arrested and they can't keep you because they don't even really know who you are. And then they got to
catch and release.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
What the
Well,
fuck?
and that's the fucked up thing too, is there was a big fight over the 2020 census, I want to say. California wanted to include the illegal immigrants in their state census, meaning those illegal immigrants gave them electoral college votes. So if you were to take out, let's just say for argument's sake, every 1 million illegal immigrant in the state of Texas or state of California was worth one electoral college vote. Let's say for argument's sake, California has 10 million illegal immigrants. If they were not included on the census, meaning they do not get taken into account for the population size of California, they would have 40 electoral college votes instead of 50. Why do illegal immigrants get electoral representation in our system at all? How is that even remotely okay? I mean, it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I was actually looking up abolish the Senate, but everybody says abolish the Senate, expand the House. I don't
That makes
get
no
that.
sense.
Right.
Because
This article, right? Yeah, it's just I just reading like the little bit of it, and it says the representatives would continue working as they do now, but bills passed in the House will become law without going to the Senate.
who is this article from?
This is from something called LoyolaPhoenix.com. Abolish, yeah. I mean, shall
Yeah,
I click on it?
absolutely. I want to tear this
And
article apart.
okay,
I want to tear it
yeah,
apart.
all right. Loyola Phoenix, award-winning student newspaper of Loyola University, Chicago.
All right. Let's hear this.
It's on their college shit. So here we go. With Mitch McConnell no longer Senate Majority Leader, there. Oh wait, so this is from April 14th, 2021.
All right.
That's when they published it. Okay, so here we go. With Mitch McConnell no longer Senate Majority Leader, there is new hope for change in the Senate. Though the optimism may be deserved, the Senate remains an undemocratic
Oh my. Okay. Pause.
institution.
Pause.
In order
Pause.
for,
I'm gonna.
okay,
I'm gonna. All right. All right. Okay.
just say stop next time.
So, an undemocratic. Read that. An undemocratic what?
Here we go. Though the optimism may be deserved, right? The changing, right? The Senate remains an undemocratic institution.
The Senate, the United States Senate, was changed through what I think is the worst fucking amendment to exist, the 17th Amendment, which says, and I quote, the direct election of senators, meaning it is a literal democracy to which our senators are elected. The way it used to be, and the more proper way, and the better way, is what it used to be before the 17th Amendment, which is the state legislature, the ones who write the laws inside of said state, the state legislature, appoint a senator to the Senate. That is how it used to be.
Well,
and the reason
it gave the citizens
and the reason for that is this ties into a lot of things. The United States senators in Washington, D.C. do not represent their political party. They do not represent the Republican Party. They do not represent the Democratic Party. They represent their state. The state of Wisconsin senators represent the state of Wisconsin. It doesn't matter what the Republican Party wants. They vote what the state of Wisconsin wants. And you have a much quicker tie directly to what the state of Wisconsin wants in said state legislature. Because people are stupid. Jesus Christ. This is a college article?
Yeah, dude. It says, in order for our democracy to move forward, the Senate must be abolished and the House of Representatives expanded.
Lord, this is almost exactly the entire opposite of what I said. What? All right, let's keep rolling.
According to the founding fathers, the Senate was originally meant to be a check on populism.
What?
While the House While the House would be subject to the will of the people, the Senate would be elected by the state legislatures so as to not be influenced by the mob,
Yep,
that was air
that's
quotes,
correct.
of the people, the mob of
Yep,
the
there's a
people,
thing
right?
called tyranny
The
of the
founding,
majority.
yeah,
41%
right,
or 40 or 51% of the population can vote to take away 49% of the population's stuff. That is, the Senate is a direct,
so,
the Senate used to be a direct check on that power.
right. The founding fathers didn't believe pure democracy was best at the time, so they wanted a degree of elitism to check
Now,
popular
it's a framing. It's not
sentiment.
elitism to want your quote
Yeah,
unquote, the way the founders frame it, quote unquote, better men in the state Senate or in the state legislature to send a representative to the Senate. It's not elitism. It's a check on it's a check on a massive overblowing federal government, which the founding fathers expressly did not want. They expressly created the 10th Amendment after a long drawn out battle of deciding to have that amendment, that any power not delegated to the federal government shall be left to the states. There's a thing called federalism, which is states' rights, basically.
you want to hear about the 17th
Oh,
Amendment
God,
in this
yes,
article?
please.
In 1913, the 17th Amendment was ratified, calling for the direct election of senators. The American people believed it was time for more democracy in Washington, and directly electing senators would hold them more accountable. By abolishing the Senate, we wouldn't be acting against the Constitution, we would be continuing our tradition of expanding democracy.
We did not want democracy. Democracy is awful. Holy fuck. We have never wanted to expand democracy. And that's so whenever people say we are a representative republic, not a democracy, people always come back with, well, they're basically the same. Well, they're basically not the same. They're basically not the same at all. A representative republic has representatives to represent the republic. A democracy is mob rule. Mob rule sucks. The whole reason for a Senate, the whole reason for your state legislature, which the state legislature is a much closer representation of what the states want than you have these massive fucking city states like Milwaukee and fucking Madison who are democratic liberal fucking hellscapes who outvote these rural fucking people who have no voices anymore. Oh, there's so many things in this article that I want to stab whoever wrote this.
Well, also to go in with that is the media is making it like those people now have the power when it's not
No.
that way. They
Yep.
don't. They're just focusing. So why exactly is the Senate undemocratic?
Jesus Christ.
It's because you want
No,
me to
I
tell you why?
don't.
This guy says so. You want me to tell you who this motherfucker is?
Oh,
Let's see. This is by I don't Aadil Cameron. Adel
Adolf
Cameron.
Cameron,
I
you
don't know how
mean?
to say that. Sorry, I butchered your name, homie, but or
Oh my
lady. I don't
god.
know what that is. So, but anyway, it's because each state. So the Senate is undemocratic because each state selects two senators regardless of population. California, a state with a population of nearly 40 million, has just as much representation as Wyoming, but 40 million, which has a population under 600,000. The result there are 37 million people with 42 senators, but 40 million with only two senators. The system makes it so the voice of the people in more populated states is diluted. So stop letting people in those fucking
Oh
states.
my God.
I'm a pretty big believer in putting up a fucking wall everywhere. Just divide everybody up. Make because that's what these assholes want, right? They want papers. They want your fucking COVID. They want your mask. They want your phone. They want your dick. They want your butthole, right? They want all this shit from you. They might as well just put fucking, what are those toll booth fucking things? Just put stops everywhere, all over the country. Just fucking do it. They want Nazi socialism. Let's do it. Make America
Make
great,
America
baby.
Nazis again. All right.
Yeah.
So,
We'll fucking
yep.
annex Mexico and we'll fucking
Yep.
take over, and people, they'll kill a million fucking fat people
Yep.
in this country or some shit, so that they can't be called racist, but some like 100 years from now will call it an ethnic cleansing, and that's it.
All right. All
That's
right.
it. Mass genocide.
All right. All right. All right. I have many
I know I
I have
went off
many
track.
things to say about this. It makes me so angry.
I'm sorry.
So angry. The fundamental reason, again, I said, California has 40 million people in it, right? Wyoming has less than a million. I think that's what it said.
For if you paused a little bit there, but if you're talking about 40 million people in
Yep.
California,
And then Wyoming has
yeah,
Wyoming has 600,000
600,000
people.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I say tyranny of the majority. If we abolish the Senate, that means California and New York would dictate how this country ran. And not the good parts of California and New York. The hellscape liberal shitholes. Your San Francisco's.
Well, the big
Yep.
cities.
Your city states. Yeah. I'm going to start fucking calling them city states.
That's exactly what they are.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, your fucking San Francisco hellscape would essentially control the whole of the United States. You know what that would mean for the United States? Shit would be everywhere. Needles from all your heroin junkies would be everywhere. So you'd get encephalitis from fucking stepping on shit-infested needles, and you'd get AIDS.
Well, I love the theatrics and all that, and I appreciate it a lot, because you're right. There's literal shit on the side.
They had to have poop patrols.
So
poop patrols.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think the worst part about it, though, is if you had that, if it was like that in a real sense, the housing market would go to shit, because that's why all those people live on the streets.
Because a fucking
completely
a one
apart.
bedroom half bath in fucking California costs you over $1 million. A half bath, not even a full bath. You don't get a shower. You get a shitter. And I almost half don't think I'm kidding about that. Like it's ridiculous. California is the land of regulations. It's the land of, we are going to regulate. Just one more law will help us be a better city. One more law will help us be a better state. One more law will help us be a better country. How are we so stupid as a populace?
Oh, okay. I'm going to show you something. Studio, 1 bathroom. That's a bathroom, a kitchenette, and 1 room that doubles as your sleeping and living area. $25.95.
25
to $26.20, and it's a $500 deposit. You want me to tell you the square footage? The biggest square footage on that particular studio is 554 square feet.
Jesus.
The size of the room, the size of the room you're in right now is probably a
My
little bit
room
bigger
is
than
like
that.
8 by 10. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you live in a closet.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yep.
Under the stairs.
God.
So if you had, so these are all studio
Mm-hmm.
apartments, right? That I'm looking at here. And then when they go up to the, um, oh yeah, these all say call for pricing. They have a bunch of different layouts, but no like bedrooms. It's just a one room place, right? And that's the top one in San Fran
So $2,500 a month.
a month. And that's not even including your fucking skyrocketed utilities. Because if you think California is not letting you go at free fucking energy, even if they can produce it with all the fucking wind in the world,
Jesus.
they ain't giving it to you for free, and you ain't seeing it in
Yeah.
your pocket.
I mean, shit.
So
You can buy.
you know,
I'm gonna. So the houses I were looking at were like 120,000, and those are like $800 a month out here. $900 a month.
yeah,
So you could buy like a $300,000 house for that price out here. And a $3,000 house or $300,000 house out here is is massive. That's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath
yeah, dude,
fucking mansion.
yeah. And you got to figure too, like I get it. Hollywood's out there. The weather is like if you go to California, it'd be very hard to get you to leave because someone like you could pick anywhere on that coast to feel the most comfortable all year round, right? You could go to any climate basically
Yeah.
on that coast. Same thing with, same thing with the East Coast because you're right there on that ocean, man.
Yep.
There's everything, right? So it just, I get it. It's super expensive, but what the
Yeah.
freaking
And they
heck?
want well, it's all
Why?
those government regulations. It's you need I was watching a dude trying to build like a house out in California, and the amount of um, red tape he had to go through, which costed money, the amount of legalese he had to go through, which all costed money, the amount of fucking city services he needed, all costed money. There was so much shit, and it all costed. It's all the government regulations. The reason they have massive amounts of forest fires, they don't fucking clean up their underbrush. They don't do any forest management. Anyway, to get
Well, and that's the other thing that's bad too because that's why the forest
yeah
fires happen, right? So anyway,
yeah
sorry. I
to
know
to
we
get
went crazy. See how one thing
to
leads
get
to
back
another?
to why we should never abolish the Senate and why we should actually abolish the 17th Amendment. Um, that was the whole purpose for the Senate, to slow down government tyranny. To anything that impedes government is a good thing. A nuclear bomb going off in Washington, D.C. would be a great thing because it would impede federal
I mean,
government.
well, yeah. I mean, I don't think it'd take that, but you know,
Well, I mean,
apparently, well, we can't impede the government, right? Because now they're talking about spending $1 billion on some sort of retractable fence so everybody can or probably they're going to work on teleportation so everybody can just be teleported in
yeah.
and out of the building.
Well, a retractable fence, so that way, if a January 6th event ever does happen again, they can trap everyone in and go in and beat and kill them all, and then they get rid of the fucking bourgeoisie or the proletariat or whatever the fucking ones the communists wanted to kill. I don't even know anymore.
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Keep reading this stupid ass article.
Okay. So we did that. Okay. Many many argue the Senate needs to stay the way it is so rural areas are not dominated by the political beliefs of urban ones.
Yes.
Agreeable. Yeah. Okay. Because we don't want people that move purposely to live off the grid and how they want, free, just like the Constitution allows them
Well,
to be
take
impeded.
this for example. California's going through a drought, right? Let's say
Correct.
California wants the farmland over yonder. Let's say they want that water. Now that farmer doesn't have any farm or any water for his crops, his animals. Now we don't have any food for anybody. All because California voted to take their food and water and their resources, essentially. It's the whole reason for the Senate is to prevent tyranny of the majority. You do not want 41% of the country voting to take 49% of the country's resources. That is a recipe for disaster.
Right, exactly what you're saying, right? However, holding an entire nation hostage due to the to a perceived threat to autonomy should never be the answer for a democracy. People who feel dominated by larger population centers can instead advocate for greater state autonomy.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Right, which is exactly
But
what
removing the Senate
we want.
does not help that in any way, because then you just have a
No.
fucking shitbag of a fucking House of Representatives that is controlled by California and New York, who can ram through any fucking bill that they want.
And it'll never get better when one side has complete
Correct.
control. It needs to be burnt down, is what it is. The whole system needs
correct.
to be redone.
We need a constitution, but stronger. We need the Constitution plus killing people. Essentially, you don't like the Constitution, you get assassinated. You don't like freedom of speech, you get assassinated. You don't like the Second Amendment, you get assassinated. You don't like the involuntary search and seizure protection, you get assassinated. You don't like anyone being able to plead the Fifth, you get assassinated. You don't like freedom of religion, you get assassinated. Just start killing everyone that doesn't agree with the Constitution.
I mean, I
don't fuck you. No. I mean, strong.
Yeah, but what about
freedom?
About freedom of believing in whatever you want to believe in it.
That's what got us here in the first place. I am for constitutional fascism. Is the only way to go about things.
Holy shit. You better calm down there, buddy. You can have a goddamn heart attack. Holy shit.
Oh, man. I'm kidding. I don't think we need to run around killing everyone. Kind of.
Right. It's just funny because, you don't believe in freedom of this, that, and the other, but you don't believe in the freedom to believe in whatever you want. But anyway, it's okay.
No, you can believe. You can. I am all for. I said this recently. I am so pro free speech. The only speech I am willing to censor is anti-free speech in order to protect free speech. That's my stance on things, basically.
Well, I wouldn't even care about the anti-free speech. Let them talk. Who cares? But as long as you know you can say
But that's the thing.
Right?
That's the thing. Then you get people like AOC who are calling for the censorship. A government employee, a representative of a state, calling for censorship. She should be assassinated.
The federal government shouldn't be impeding any of our...
but if we rely on government to curtail its power, we're just going to keep getting this giant ballooning government.
I just don't understand why people feel the need to bring everything up to the government now, right? Like all of these stupid ass things. Why are you getting involved?
What about personal responsibility? Be responsible for your fucking self.
You want the fucking world to be like happy-go-lucky and not make fun of each other and fuck with each other and be assholes to each other and kill each other, then start acting fucking right and people won't feel the need to fucking fuck you up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, come on.
All right, let's continue with this dumbass article.
Okay. It's almost over. I'm sorry I even brought it up. I just thought it was hilarious because it was written in college. If the Senate is abolished, the House of Representatives will be the sole legislative. Wait, did
I
I
don't
already
know.
read that? No. Anyway, it'll be the sole legislative body of the federal government. Although this may seem overburdening, workload wouldn't change. Right, because they don't do fucking fuck
Exactly.
all anyway.
And
Right.
that's just
So,
what?
like,
Oh,
yeah,
this,
they're fucking television
yeah.
personalities at this point. That's
So
about
the
it. And the ones that don't speak on the microphone or on the news, they're the ones that are fucking in the background. They're the fucking extras.
pretty much,
So
yeah. Whoever wrote this article is a dumbass.
I mean, they're well. I wouldn't say that. They're very smart because they literally wrote something that I would expect would come out of a young
College dumbass.
Liberal college, left leaning,
Fuck
believe
face.
everything. This person's news is what
Yes.
wrote this.
Correct.
Their news feed wrote.
Well, and
this
that's,
whole
you know,
thing.
my news feed wrote what I just said too. The fact that anything that is a check on federal government power is a good thing, because this person doesn't realize one day the Democrats might not control California and New York, and the Republicans might control California and New York. Then all of a sudden you're getting all these Republican things rammed down the fucking states' throats that no one fucking wants. Granted, I think more people are actually probably Republican than they realize. That being said, I don't want tyranny. I'm a Republican. No, I'm not. I don't know what the fuck I am. I lean more on the conservative side.
Well,
you know what I don't want? I don't want conservatives and these fucking righteous fucking commie bastard religious people shoving down their religion down these fucking atheist, godless, democratic cunts' throats. You know what I also don't want? These fucking commie bastard Democrat cunts shoving down their fucking genderless dicks down my throat. I don't want anyone shoving anything down anyone's throat through force of fucking laws.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you like the last couple of paragraphs here, and they're not real big paragraphs, but they're the overall argument, right? So along with abolishing the Senate, the House of Representatives should be expanded. Remember, that was the other
yes.
part of the this person's thing. So the House has not grown in size since 1929.
Correct.
But our population has more than doubled.
I think it was what the saying used to be is one representative for every 30,000 people.
It doesn't say here, but it tells. It says because of this, the population to representative ratio has grown from 209,447 people per representative in 1910 to 747,184 people per representative in 2018. So we have lost representation over time, is what it's saying.
Yeah.
Because there's more people and there's the same amount of representation.
Well, and that gets back to the whole crux of the issue. Who is the only person that can represent you? It's fucking you. Why do we need people to represent me in any way, shape, or form? Let me work my job, let me take my money, and let me fuck off out of society.
So I'm going to say this in my we are a tribal species, right? So the thing is that is what it is at the core, right? We've evolved. We're evolved in all of this weird shit, right? Like politics and this and that. But all it is tribal.
Yes,
it's all tribal. You know, it's like, and I'm going to use these generalizations, right? So you're a libertarian, you're a Democrat, that dude's a fucking Republican. That,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So those are your
Yep.
tribes. At this moment, those are your tribes, right? But then you have, it's coming out now where it's like being presented as those things still, those tribes, and then but you're black.
Yes.
Or now you're a black Democrat, or you're a black
Yes.
Republican. And no, up these people are racists, but and these people all see eye to eye with the racists, right? It's all
Yep.
tribal, man, and that's what I'm starting to believe. It's more and more
Well,
tribal.
I mean,
These
all you have
people,
to do,
they fucking need to check these fucking egos,
look at
man. This
look at what
ego
David
shit
Hogg
is
said.
what's fucking
Look at
us
what
up.
David Hogg said. I don't want to take off my mask because I don't want people to think I'm a Republican.
Good, don't. No one wants to see your fucking face anyway, you little bitch.
I wish he would have got shot in Portland.
Oh my god, don't
I'm just
say
saying.
that.
Or wait, what was it? Portland?
That's not
Was
nice.
it?
No, isn't he one of the kids from
Yeah, that
that
school shooting. What was his? What was the school?
Yeah, that was in Florida. That was in
Was it?
Florida.
What was the name of the school though?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like I think it was. I don't know. It was named something. I don't know. I didn't like that shit from the beginning. It almost seemed like fucking they made this kid famous. Why is he all of a sudden? He's barely out of
Well,
high
he
school.
he got a full
Right?
ride scholarship to Harvard.
Well, good for him, but like
He rose to prominence. Gun violence as a student survivor of Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. I wish he would have fucking got shot in the goddamn face.
no,
No,
don't
fuck
say
that
that's
guy.
not nice.
Fuck that idiot.
Think about it.
He's a
He's
disingenuous
just
little
poisoned.
cunt bag.
He got poisoned by the system. That's what happened. Put a camera in front of a kid that just had a bunch of trauma happen to him, and you can.
There
make them
were
do
actually a couple
anything.
of kids that came out as pro 2A activists from that thing, which was actually pretty cool.
I get it. Wouldn't you be like, man?
I wish I had a
fucking
gun so I could have
stop
at least.
that." Right. So I
Fuck,
could have.
there was a
defended
guy
myself.
who was the shooter that got stopped by a guy with a gun. It was in I don't remember exactly where it was,
I do remember an article of
but
that.
but where was it in the media?
We'll have to. We'll do. I don't remember because I think we were actually on here talking on a different episode, and it was one of the articles that I would
Yeah.
have talked about. But we go on tangents, ladies
Yep.
and gentlemen, and that's what happens. And
Fuck. All right.
it gets crazy in here, especially during the Sandbox session.
All
Holy
right.
shit.
Is there any more to this annoying ass article?
Nothing really specific where by increasing the number of representatives, the population to representative ratio would decrease. Let's see. I think all it would really do is you would just be calling the Senate something different. You would just be lumping it in and just dropping that name because they'd all still keep their fucking jobs.
More or less, yeah. I mean, how
They
many
would be the
senators wouldn't get
representatives.
elected as representatives to their states? I mean, pretty much all of them
Right.
would.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean,
And that,
come on. And then there's your representative. It's the same
Yep.
swamp.
and that's the thing.
You know what you got to do with a
That's-
swamp? You got to dredge
Well,
that
that's what I was gonna say.
motherfucker. You got to get that nasty shit out of there so it's not poisoning
Yep.
the air and killing.
Well, it's
shit.
this DC is this giant incestuous place of swamp creatures that just continue to fuck each other and bond over their enjoyment of fucking the United States citizenry. God, that article is so I want to punch him in the fucking face. Whoever wrote that article.
Yeah. The person who wrote it is Adel Cameron. Is a senior studying biology and history at Loyola College.
What a
there in
fucking
Chicago.
idiot.
There's another article by this young person called Joe Biden won, period. Now what? Question mark. So I didn't.
No,
I'm
I
not
think
going to
we
read
gotta.
that
I want to
because
continue to tear into
of
this
this.
person.
Okay.
I'm
So
committing a hate crime live on
this
TV.
one. So this one is from. This was updated on November 10th, 2020. It might
Interesting.
even.
Yeah,
This was last
this is
year.
right after he
So
got elected, so this will be a good one. Let's.
yeah, during all of the
Yep.
recounting and the bullshit and all the crap, right? So, um, okay, so there's a disclaimer on this one, and there might have been on the last one too. I can go back and check, but it says right before the article starts, it says the Loyola Phoenix is committed to publishing opinion
Yep.
pieces that represent many diverse perspectives and viewpoints. If you have an interest in submitting a piece or writing for us, email
If I could
phoenixopinion@luc.edu.
write properly, I don't know how to use punctuation. I don't capitalize shit. I have massive run-on sentences. One day I would like to write an article, maybe, but I'm a retard when it comes to writing things. But dear Lord, that first one was just awful, and I'm excited to hear this one.
Okay. It says former Vice President Joe Biden is the projected winner of the 2020 presidential election. While we may celebrate the end of Donald Trump's disastrous presidency, let's not fall asleep at excuse me. Let's not fall asleep and tune out politics. Many people may cheer about the fact we now have civility in the White House. They may cheer about how things will be back to
Yep.
normal.
All right, pause.
Excuse me.
So I will give him credit. He did say, let's not all go to sleep on politics. I give him credit for saying that statement. I would like to posit this question to this uh, Adolf gentleman. I know his name isn't Adolf, but
It's Adel.
Adolf. Yes, yes.
Adil. Maybe
Adolf.
it's
Yes,
Adil.
his
I
name is
don't know.
Adolf. I would like to posit to Adolf. So we have civility back in the White House. How's that looking in the Middle East? How is that looking at the Russia-Ukraine border? How's that looking for Taiwan and Hong Kong? How's that looking for, other than your Twitter feed, which was a giant shit show before Trump and is going to be a giant shit show during Trump and was a giant shit show after Trump? What do you exactly mean by civility?
I'm actually reading ahead as you're talking, and so far I may you may change your mind about
All
this
right.
young person. Hold on now.
All
Hold
right.
on to your
I'm ready.
seat there, buddy. I'm going to reread the last couple of
All right.
sentences of this and then go on for like another one, and then I'll let you speak, okay? Here we go. People may cheer about the fact we now have civility in the White House, right? They may cheer about how things will be back to normal, but the normal of the Barack Obama years isn't
Yes.
desirable.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm doing air quotes when I say stuff, okay? So, and you'll know what I mean. Normal under Obama was Wall Street bailouts when Americans were suffering from from the Great Recession. That normal was cages being built at the border for migrant children and the mass deportation of millions who had made their lives in this country. That normal was the countless bombing and drone strikes on multiple countries, leaving death and destruction in
Including
between.
United States citizens.
Right. So far, I'm kind of digging this
Correct.
article. Um, the next part is the Affordable Care Act.
Sure.
Would you like to hear? Okay. The Affordable Care Act. What many consider Obama's greatest achievement was a step in the right direction, but it didn't guarantee health care. People had insurance, but they avoided going to the doctor for preventable illnesses because copays and deductibles were too expensive. Very, very
Yes.
true. That's why a lot of people didn't get
Yep.
it, you know?
And the cause of
Um,
that is
Trump, oh,
government.
sorry.
Whenever government gets involved in something, it guarantees money to be there. Just like with the housing crash and the bailouts of Wall Street, when those bubbles failed and burst, government was there to bail them out. Government has unlimited funds, as we've seen now in 2020 and 2021, where how many trillions of dollars have been printed out of thin fucking air? Government has an unlimited funds of money because it can keep on printing and printing and printing. When you give that endless reserve of cash to a insert anything government should not be involved with, i.e., healthcare, schools, and Wall Street, you're going to fuck up the system. You are going to invariably fuck up the system.
Correct. The next part is a little bit about Trump. So I think he's probably, or this person's probably going to go in kind of nuts, right? Um, you ready for that?
Sure. Sure, I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Okay. Trump arrived on the scene and capitalized on the pain in
Mm-hmm.
America. He told people illegals are streaming across the border and taking
All
advantage of
right. Okay.
Americans.
Okay.
He
Hold on.
said he'd bring the jobs back. Oh,
Hold
okay.
on.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't think he was wrong.
Donald Trump was 100% correct in that. Look at what happened as soon as Joe Biden took over in office. How many fucking people came over the border?
Oh yeah, it
Like
was
close
tons.
to like
In
a
1 month,
hundred.
it was like
Jesus,
700,000
yeah,
people.
it's ridiculous.
In a year, I think in the year it was like 700,000 fucking people, maybe 300,000. I don't know why these big ass numbers are in my head, but they're probably true. I'm sure you'll look it up. Um, he said he'd bring jobs back and end all foreign wars that were draining America. He even said we'd have universal health care. Um,
I don't remember him ever saying that.
and I don't remember that either. Remember he wanted, well, I think he wanted to get rid of the
Yeah.
penalty, right?
Yep.
And they get rid of the penalty for not
Yep.
having it. Yeah. So to the people who were struggling, Trump seemed like the answer to their problems. They overlooked his racism, sexism, Islamophobia, among other things, because they thought he'd come in and fix problems, unlike the establishment politicians who just talk in flowery language and do nothing.
I don't even need to refute any of what he said there. It's
No,
insert
no.
insert any bad.
Um,
Oh, you're a racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe who hates the gays, the Jews, the blacks, the whites. You hate. You're a bad person. You're a bad person. But you can't prove to me. You can't give me any fucking evidence of anything that he's done that make him a racist, a sexist, a bigot, a homophobe. Go to Palestine. Go to fucking Palestine and go have your gay pride parade there. You fuck faces. See how well that works out for you.
for real. And that's the other thing. Apparently now, when we were talking before about democracy, apparently democracy means make everybody on the planet believe in the same shit. And if it's not the same and accepting and this and that, it's
Yes.
illegal now. And we will other those
Correct.
people, right?
Bake the
It's
cake,
like,
bigot.
yeah, right. Like, fuck
You know,
you.
I don't hate gay people. But the moment a gay person says
No.
I have to do something, fuck that faggot right in the asshole. With a cactus.
Yeah.
With a cactus.
Oh, goodness. How about the
Or the pineapple.
Little Nicky, remember? No. Trump came in and did his destruction. He expanded his coalition and gained more votes than he did in 2016. He got more non-white votes than any Republican presidential candidate in decades. If it weren't for COVID-19, Trump would likely have beaten
I think that's
Biden.
100%. Well, actually, I think that's true.
If COVID didn't happen, it
Been
probably
a
would
landslide.
have been curtains. It probably would have been curtains for the Democrats that are in the
Yeah.
establishment. You know, I think so. If we don't acknowledge the faults of the pre-Trump years and the appeal Trump had, then we risk getting an evil greater than Trump.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a solid block of the country that'll stand behind Trump and won't disappear. Trump energizes the worst elements of the Republican base, and a more competent version of Trump could easily take advantage of this, which I totally believe. But why?
So one thing that just doesn't make sense.
The whole system needs to be fucking shot in
It's
the goddamn
the establishment.
ass.
It's the establishment elites sitting in office for decades being fucking clowns. 20 years. Okay, Nancy Pelosi is what, 78? Let's just say she's 80. Let's just say she's 80 for argument's sake.
God. Yeah.
She could and my idea is age limits, not term limits. I like the idea of age limits because at 65, which was 15 years ago for Nancy Pelosi, she would have been out of office.
Right.
Same thing with fucking Chuck Schumer. Same thing with Mitch McConnell. Fucking all these people that have been in office way too long. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. But that being said, too, he said, can you go back to the part where he said Trump got more votes than ever and more? Can you go ahead and read that section back? And I want to point out an inconsistency here.
He expanded his coalition and gained more votes than he did in 2016. He got more non-white votes than any Republican presidential candidate in decades. If it weren't for COVID-19, Trump would likely have beaten Biden.
So he said, Donald Trump's a racist, Donald Trump's a bigot, Donald Trump's a sexist, homophobe, insert any other thing you want. Why did he gain more black and Latino and Asian and insert any other minority? Why did he gain more votes than any other Republican in the past 30 years?
Well, I think when it came to him, people could, I don't know. I feel like people right now that are buying into the bullshit, I think the COVID shit really fucked with them. You know what I mean? Having people stay inside, and then all you're seeing is the shit that they're shoving down your throat, right? The stuff about him being this and that and this and that, and you're doing nothing but you're on your devices, you're online, and remember that fucking news feed, right? And all your friends and everybody's seeing the same shit that people.
But he gained more black and Latino votes, which just doesn't make any sense.
So
if he's this giant racist, sexist bigot, how did he gain more? It makes no sense to me.
Maybe those news feeds were more pro-Trump than pro-Biden.
I don't know. It just,
and then, well, remember too,
because if Donald Trump is this big racist, and the media blasts that over the airwaves, you would expect him to lose black votes.
Right. Yeah, you
would expect him to lose Mexican votes. If Donald Trump, the media told me that Donald Trump said that Mexicans are rapists and monsters and murderers. He said that of Mexicans, all of them. All Mexicans are rapists, murderers, and monsters. Is exactly what Donald Trump said, according to the media. How did he gain more Mexican votes? Do the Mexicans hate Mexicans? The Mexicans are out there with their fucking "they took our jobs" flags and fucking hunting down other Mexicans because they hate Mexicans. I just don't understand. Don't understand.
Maybe COVID made everybody
I
stupid.
I would believe that.
See, I just don't really remember. I mean, I remember, September 11th was really the worst thing I think I saw, except for like natural
Yeah.
disasters. But like nothing like crazy and shit. And like this whole thing, I don't think people were this bugged out. People were like hugging strangers and shit. Now you're just like, fuck all
Yep.
you people, you know? Oh, you're wearing a blue tie? What the fuck is your problem? I'm a blue check on Twitter. I don't even know what that means, but I know if you don't have that,
Then you're a
they
racist.
fucking think you're a conspiracy theorist or a
Yep.
racist. That's all I know about it. So I mean, dude, what the
I
fuck
don't
is
know, man.
happening?
It makes no sense at all. None of it makes any sense anymore.
It just don't
Yep.
make any sense.
All right, continue with this dumbass article.
All right. Um, let's see. Where were we? Oh, okay. If we don't acknowledge, okay, we did that part. Then we risk getting greater evil than Trump. There's a solid block of the country that'll stand behind him. I know we got through that. The Republican Party would fall in line, as it did when Trump won the nomination in 2016. A more competent presidential candidate with Trump's policies can cause a lot more damage to America and to the world.
We just live in such distinct realities.
I just don't understand.
World leaders love Trump.
If you're running, all right, I'm just going to say this. I know it's not ideal, but if America was actually run like a business, like it was kind of starting to be over those years, right? Same thing in the Reagan era, right? That's why the punks, they didn't like Reagan. It was all like oppression and shit like that is what they thought. But it was like hard to get a job when you got blue hair.
Yep.
So I mean, I just think when you have a president that steps foot in a country that has never allowed people like that into the country.
All right. Are we talking about North Korea?
Oh my God, dude.
Okay.
What president goes, the president of the United States? We all saw the interview. What if they freaking poisoned him or something? What if they did anything? This dude is like, what is he, like 6'3" something? Fucking towering over those fucking Asians. They were probably like, holy fuck, we can't mess with this guy. He's huge.
All right. Donald J. motherfucking Trump. All right. Some of you guys, I like rap. I'm a big fan of rap music. I love me some Biggie. Biggie has a song that goes...
All right, don't get crazy. Don't get crazy.
Biggie has a song that goes, kick in the door, wave in the 4-4, and all you heard was Papa don't hit me no more. In white person parlance, that means you break down the door, kick in the door, you wave in the 4-4, you come in with a 44 Magnum, and all you heard was Papa don't hit me no more, which means someone kicked in their door, they waved a giant 44 Magnum, and then Biggie started beating people with the 44 Magnum, and they were screaming, don't hit me no more. So, Donald J. Trump walked into North Korea. He kicked in the door, he waved in the 4-4, and all he heard was Papa don't hit me no more. Every time I think of North Korea, that's all I can think of, is that image running through my head. This dude, no bodyguards, no protection, no nothing, walks in to North fucking Korea, a place that hasn't seen an American since Dennis Rodman in the fucking 90s, probably. Not only that, you were just on Twitter fucking calling the Americans dogs and devils and should be eaten. And Donald Trump was calling you a fucking baby back bitch Oompa Loompa on Twitter. And he walks into North Korea. No bodyguards, no protection, no safety. What?
Dude, Trump's like 4 inches taller than
Is
this
he?
motherfucker, too. Yeah.
Like that, to me, that is the greatest thing Trump did in his presidency. Take a look and think how much strength that shows as a nation. To walk into an openly hostile nation towards everyone by yourself.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Putin can do it, but nobody fucks
Correct.
with Russia, dude. You know, like, what's he gonna do? They
Yep.
know, you know. So, I think, yeah. Like, I just.
We live in two different realities. You have the reality that are pro-Trump and the reality that are anti-Trump, and nothing else matters to those
Did you
people.
notice? Did you also notice that? And I know we're not going to really go deep diving on the Israel thing because we don't know a whole lot about it.
I'm gonna go deep diving on it. Are you ready for it? Right now,
okay.
Right here, right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna say exactly what I said to you on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
Every Israeli that wants claim to the Israeli land, and every Palestinian that wants claim to whatever fucking land, line up. They fucking battle each other to the death. Last one standing gets the land. Problem fucking solved. I don't care.
No countries other than those two
straight
involved.
up fisticuffs. No knives, no guns, no weapons. Greco-Roman, naked. Men, women, and children.
No prisoners. No prisoners of war. Nobody's being
Straight
brought up
up
on
murder.
charges. You fight it. You fight it out till one side gives up or
Correct.
is no longer.
That's the only solution. Because I don't know if the Jews have claim to Israel. I don't know if the Palestinians have claim to Israel. I frankly don't give a fuck. It's none of my goddamn business. I don't care. I'm not Israeli. I'm not Jewish.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking Muslim. I don't give a fuck who wants that land.
It's an ancient fight, and if everybody's so concentrated on being progressive and coming out of the dark ages and shit like that, maybe they should. But it's none of our fucking business. It should be up to them to do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to kill each other in the fucking blade,
be men about it. Be men about it. Fucking fisticuffs it up. Stop using women and children as fucking shields. Your men need to be out on those lines, fucking fisticuffing it up, beating the shit out of each other. Last man standing wins. Then that man gets to repopulate that fucking area.
The United States military doesn't bring babies as fucking shields to a fucking gunfight.
One thing I will say, though, I think I do land on the Israeli side because the Israelis were bombed and then sent up their bombs as defense. But you also have pro-Palestinian people hunting down Jews in America. So, I mean, you take the totality of it and, you know, the Jews just want to be left alone. The Palestinians, Hamas, whatever the fuck it happens to be, I don't know. I don't care. The assholes that want the Israelis gone, they typically often attack. So that's my 2 cents on the subject. Fuck them all.
Shouldn't care about it. Also, I remember when there was no fighting when we had a different president, but you know, that's nor here nor there. Probably, you know, the mainstream media probably sees no correlation between the two.
It's not like Donald
to open your brain up and let you.
It's not like Donald Trump stopped giving money to Palestine, and then Joe Biden said, "Hey, I'm going to start giving money to Palestine," and then they immediately went and shot rockets off and.
Right, because they got a bunch of money, so they could afford to. Gee, I wonder where that came from. It's just like back when Clinton sold the fucking Taliban a bunch of fucking weapons to liberate themselves from the fucking Russians, and we fucking trained all them. And you know how the CIA and all those fucking assholes work? They fucking set up their proxy wars and shit, which, by the way, if any of them are listening, we are also looking for jobs in that area because we don't care,
Correct.
and that would probably be fun. But yeah, so yeah, but I think we don't need to go into any more of this article. It's kind of just repeating shit from
Previous episodes we've done, and
well, it's talking about the Republican Party basically, and how these people, this guy, you know, they don't like that so many people are just backing up this type of person, right? They want to pressure the establishment into passing Medicare. I honestly don't think we need the federal government to be involved in the insurance
correct.
business. I don't think there should be laws when it comes to everybody should have this. It's like, if people want it, it shouldn't have to, well, one, I would say it shouldn't have to cost a fucking arm and a leg. Or if it's that bad, why is all the fucking medicine and shit cost so goddamn much? If you're gonna do it to us and make us fucking pay for it, make it fucking
take
cheaper.
some of that money that's going to all these businesses and corporations and all this pointless, stupid shit that the government doesn't fucking need. And if you want universal health care, you could probably do it. But if government grants it, government can take it away. And if you're a fat fuck like me, who let himself go like a fucking dumbass, and you have a heart attack, government can probably one day say, hey, you treated your body like shit. You drank too much soda. You did too many fucking McDonald's. You're a dumbass. We're not going to give you this heart transplant. Then I just get to die. And it is what it is. So if you guys want to live under that system, if government can grant it, government can also take it away.
Right. So, man, I love these Sandbox episodes. They're so fun.
We started out at how to vote, and then we started ranting and yelling at some Adolf guy.
Yeah, sorry. It gets random because I was not prepared. I was trying to be prepared, you know, and all that junk.
But no, I like the turn. We have to do a deep dive on the 17th Amendment one day, because it keeps coming up.
The 17th Amendment, though, is but it's very confusing because there's a lot of things in it. And it means a lot, like it means different things. You know, people are interpreting it very strangely. So yeah, maybe the next episode, maybe I'll just put it in my notes on here and
deep dive into the 17th Amendment.
We do that. Yeah.
Oh.
So,
but
what the fuck,
America? Fuck, America? Believe
we voted for it.
Yes, we did. But all right, we will be here at another later date and time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Have fun later.